For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
And here comes Susan Bennett, one of the world-famous ladies, walking into the studio. Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. This is Paul Dingeman. We are here. We've got a good lineup of guests for you today. The aforementioned Susan Bennett will be along with Alice Reeve of great fame to talk about the Empty Bowls project, which is coming up. But let's begin with the sheriff, Mr. Tim Donnellon. Nice to see you.
Hey, my pleasure, Paul.
Last
Thanks
time you and I were together, we were up on the roof of the Times-Herald building.
Yeah, we sure were. Roof set.
For Child Abuse and Neglect
Child Abuse
Council.
and Neglect Council. We did the 5x5 event. Mike Wendling, myself, Deb Johnson, and raised a lot of money, but we got thoroughly beat by Deb Johnson. I'll have to admit that on the air.
Well, you guys were a little upset with me because I sided with her.
I know. We forgave you. You'd have to remind me. I forgot about that. I don't know why, but she's prettier. I'll go with that.
Well, thank you. Yes, she is. And she looks great. Let me bring us up to date. You're obviously busy all the time.
Oh, we're busy
The department is never stops being busy.
Never stops. No.
You've had success last fall with a millage.
Yes, we sure did.
Just last fall, or was it
No,
long?
it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago already.
Yep,
Wow.
it ran on the same time as the presidential cycle, August, my election cycle, actually.
Okay.
Yep.
And that is the St. Clair County Millage Task Force.
Drug Task Force millage.
And Task Force millage. And you've had time to implement that program. And I thought maybe you could bring us up to date where we're at.
I sure can.
What's happened.
You know what? We've increased twofold. I mean, we doubled our staff, and the numbers will show you. The statistics are just astronomical. You know, we've had just so many arrests. It's been very, very productive, and they're not letting off the gas. I'll tell you that much, Paul. They are hard charging, hardest working guys in the world. That Drug Task Force.
The task force has increased, right, in size?
Doubled in size. Doubled in size, yeah. And we've got partnerships, as I'll show you in some of the slides, with our federal agencies, our township law enforcement, our city, municipal, and county deputies. It's a big machine now.
Good. Well, you did say you did bring along a PowerPoint.
I did.
Let's take a look at that now, and you can give us some numbers.
Well, I sure can. You know, kind of looking on the bottom, those are the patches of the people that represent the Drug Task Force. You know, you have your sheriff patch there, and then you have Port Huron Police, Clay Township, which is new, U.S. Border Patrol, which has 2 officers, and U.S. Customs.
Yeah, that is in addition to Clay Township. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you didn't have that before.
Didn't have that before, no, and we fund that through the Drug Task Force. Great partnership with Chief Coach and I. Mike Coach and I teamed up and worked that together, and we wanted that partnership in the southern end of the county. We really needed that, and with the millage increase and then the strong support we had southern end of the county, what better way than to say, hey, let's fund a position, put them in the drug unit.
Right.
Then we have that local talent.
Okay. It's
really worked out really nice. So like I said, multi-agency approach, federal law enforcement partnerships, particularly happy. This is a breakdown of them. Port Huron, we have 2 Port Huron officers. Clay Township, U.S. Customs, U.S. Border Patrol. So we have the interior and the exterior. Our international border, our 2 bridges, our 2 ferry crossings, bilingual Border Patrol agents. It's very, very helpful. Very helpful. There's a little bit of our staffing, and actually the numbers are even stronger. Supervisors, lieutenant overseeing the 2 sergeants, 10 deputies, 2 Port Huron, a Clay, Border Patrol. It's 2 Border Patrol, the U.S. Customs, and it's 2 secretaries and 2 assistant prosecutors.
Do you pay for the Border Patrol?
No, that's freebie.
Gas, truck, vehicle? None of it.
They cover it. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And I'll tell you what, Candace Miller put that together for us, and Paul Mitchell steps right up and helps us, and it works out just wonderful for us. Absolutely. But obviously, sales a big problem, keeping the drugs, narcotics out of our streets. And that's their pure mission. But this gives you a little look at our information and complaints. Information are like tips. Complaints are like reports we're doing, and you just see it climbing and climbing and climbing every year. You know, 1,000 complaints, 1,000 investigations last year.
So out of the 231 information, they led to complaints of 998?
Some of them are just information that maybe are unfounded. Maybe it's just
my neighbor's got drugs.
Right. The others are straight up investigations. drug buys.
Are my
Yep.
neighbor's dogs barking too much, so I'll
Yeah,
turn them in for a drug gun.
Well, we get a little of that, absolutely, but I've got even more. Now, this looks at your felony and misdemeanor charges. 446 felonies, 315 misdemeanors. So a felony would be obviously the dealing of drugs, the possession of drugs, the delivery of drugs. Misdemeanor may be the frequenting the drug house, maybe possession amounts depending on what narcotic it is. But it just keeps going up and up and up, and that's a lot of arrests.
Yeah.
When you look at that, that's a big, big number of people. Now, I have traffic stops and warrants, and I combine them. The reason we combine them, Paul, is like many times we'll have a house we want to raid and we have it under surveillance. It's much easier for us to wait for them to get in the car and leave.
That's smart.
Safe. Stop them in the car, pull them out of the car.
When they're inside the house,
gotta
they
dig 'em
can
out.
see you coming.
Well, they see you coming, they get guns, they get armed,
Yeah.
they get barricaded. It just causes a whole sense of issues.
Right.
You get them in the house, it's a little bit of a battle. A lot of times we're surveilling them in Detroit, coming back, wait until we get them on 94, block them in, stop them, knock them out before they even know we're around. So we combine them because sometimes, we'd rather do the car, but we got to go in and dig them out of the house.
Yep.
But, that's damn near 500, and 352, 352 weeks in the year.
That's pretty darn good.
500 search warrants.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Gives you an idea how busy.
Yep.
There's 20 employees out there. So, we can run a team of 10 people west, 10 people south. You could run 5 in Port Huron, you could run 5 in Marine City, you can just divide and conquer now. We couldn't do that before the millage. Now, I talk a little bit about our geographics. You look at our county, 750 miles, that's our county. What people forget is that, we're kind of a gridlock that just likens itself to having a narcotic trafficking. You got I-69 from Flint.
Right.
Dead ends in St. Clair County. It's a much high at-risk city. As we all know, Flint's got their struggles. We got I-94, Detroit. We got narcotics coming in. We got cash going out. And then we got Canada, 110 miles, international border, right down there. So you got a 3-way bottleneck in St. Clair County. And after 9/11,
You got to be pretty unique in the
we're
nation.
extremely unique. We're the only county in Michigan that's got 110 miles international border.
Wow.
We have more water in our county than anywhere, and we're the only county that have 2 freeways from 2 cities at rest, Detroit and Flint, that dead end in their county. So this is a very unique map. And when I show this to people, you can almost see the light bulb go in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So obviously, opioids, prescription pills, heroin, major issue in our county. Major issue, Paul. Now, on methamphetamine, that was also a big problem. We had the labs we used to see. Now, the labs decreased in 5 in 2018 from 16. But
Hey, you used to have the guys dress up in
we still have
costume.
them, but here's the problem. It's not necessarily good news. They decreased because there's a better meth, crystal meth, comes from Mexico and China. That increased. So what happens is people are saying, instead of cooking the low-grade meth,
taking
I'm going to buy the
gamble.
good stuff. I'm going to buy the good stuff.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing less labs, but more of the crystal meth. And I'll show you the statistics, and actually they're quite frightening. That's crystal meth in the bottom corner, heroin in the top right, and obviously opiate-based pills. And the top 2 are one and the same. One's just a pill formed. But crack cocaine, still around. It's been around since the 80s. Crack cocaine's why we got the drug task force in '85. I spent all of my formidable years in narcotics chasing crack dealers.
Yep.
We didn't even have meth around or heroin then. And that crack, believe it or not, has gone up last year. But prescription drug abuse, serious issue. Most of the pills we're seeing, hydrocodone, oxycodone, anything with an opiate based. That's what people are wanting. Now, fortunately, we've had a great partnership with DEA, unused pills, expired pills, dropping
you've
them
done
off.
that for a
Done
couple
it
years
for years.
now.
Well, wait till you look at what we've got. 8 years,
Oh.
1,900 pounds. Not pills, pounds. Pounds of pills. 500 pounds last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
You talk about take a look at a 5-pound coffee can. I mean, it's just tons of them.
Aren't some other agencies now collecting too?
Almost all of them are.
Okay.
Exactly. And we've got a almost looks like a post office box, like a mailbox in the front of the lobby, and it was from Rite Aid, and they gave it to us. It's bolted down. You open up the door and drop them in, and
They're in.
they're in. Yep. And
Okay.
it's funny. I get them dropped off to my house continually because people know I'm the sheriff. I had a friend of mine whose mother passed, left me a voicemail. Hey, we're getting rid of all our medication so it doesn't get in the wrong hands. Your garage door was unlocked, Tim. They're on your tool bench. I come home, there's a big bag of them. So I put them in the car and took them to work. But now our pill seizures were down a little bit, and I liken that to the take-back programs.
Yeah.
You know, so I truly believe it's working, but still, that's 1,500 pills, and that's seized, you know, and these are primarily opiates because they have the street value.
Yep.
So now our heroin, again, heroin went down. It's a critical issue. But if there's anything that's been advertised with our Narcan and with the bringing people back, it is the opiates that we're really, really working on. And we connected at the hip to the prescriptions, but we've actually seen a decrease in the heroin. And get that thing, there it goes. Now you look at our heroin decrease, it went down. Now I think partially that went down because we've got twice as much cops working it.
Yep.
We've got more public awareness. We've got partnerships with community mental health, with the health department, with everybody and anybody, with the Narcan and the antidotes, and the fire department's carrying them, and EMS is carrying them, law enforcement. So I think we're on the right track with heroin. We're starting to get that public awareness that don't mess with these pills. You know, be very careful on your prescriptions. But on the flip side, crystal meth, big problems. Drug of choice nationwide has become an awful problem. And in our county,
Nice fighting my
there
computer's
it
fighting
is,
you.
yep. You know, labs have dropped in the last 5 years, but we've had a tremendous increase. And the labs were the one pot, they call it, because you'd cook it like with a 64-ounce pop bottle is what it looked like. But now we're seeing the good stuff being shipped in. 2018, almost 3,300 grams of crystal meth. Look at the amount of increase.
180%.
Yeah, 821 grams to 2,300.
Wow.
That's upsetting.
Wow.
You know, that's upsetting. You look at that graph.
Yeah.
So when you see the heroin down and you're ready to say, by gosh, that's great, crystal meth just spiked. And it spiked with a
And it's all ages, isn't it, that it's using?
All ages, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't see a ton of elderly on this. I do on pills. Pills have no demographic. The heroin, anybody can get hooked on that stuff if you have prescription and you overuse it.
You got a bad back.
Yeah, absolutely. Bad back, you know, bad C-section, bad shoulder, bad anything.
Yeah.
And I see housewives, I see carpenters throw their back out, I see baseball players burn their shoulder. I see it all, you know, and no demographic at all. No demographic, young, old, middle-aged. Meth, not so much.
Okay.
But that's a frightening seizure. So crack cocaine. Now, interesting enough, crack cocaine hit here. That's in the center, smoking crack, about 85, and that's why we started the Drug Task Force. Crack cocaine, you know, started hitting Detroit early 80s, and it worked its way east, and we had no drug unit. And we're like, what in the world are we going to do? We had all of this Detroit crack up here and the dealers, so they started the millage, and the rest has been history. But 2018, crack cocaine. You'd think with all the heroin out there and all the meth, people wouldn't be wasting their time with crack, but they do, and it spiked. We were up 67%. Now, a lot of it is I have a lot more staff, so there are a lot more boots on the street, so we're going to see more results.
Yeah.
But still, I would have thought it would have been more heroin, not more crack. 502 grams seized, 67%, you know, from 301 grams. That's a lot. So you look at that, you know, 398, she goes down to 300, and then it goes up to 500. So, but that's 500 grams off the street.
Yeah.
That's a good thing for the county. Our Drug Task Force incident map, this is new too. You can go to our Facebook and you can hit on that and you can look at the activity and where it occurs and what we're seeing.
Where things are hot.
Things are hot and what we're doing, and it's Bell Facebook page. Recommend anybody go like our Facebook.
SCC Drug Force Task.
Yeah, well, the Sheriff's Office. You just go to the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
St. Clair County Sheriff's Office, and it'll link you right to it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Facebook,
Oh, there it
St. Clair
is,
County Sheriff.org.
Okay.
Yep, we got Twitter, we got Facebook. we're right. We're
You
right
got
with.
'em all.
Oh yeah, you know, nothing more important than this show though.
That's right.
Now, how you can help? Again, you know, I got a little saying: if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Call
right.
us. You know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
That's right.
And who better to know than people in the neighborhood?
That's right.
Call us. You know, there's a number, 1-800-243-DRUG. It is toll free. It's anonymous. Nobody will ever ask you who you are. Just call us. And I'll tell you what, it may save a life.
Well, that's it. That's the key.
That's the key.
Trying to do that.
Trying to do that with this heroin. It may save a life. And you know, it's funny. You talk about that anonymous. Well, going back 20 years now, there was a guy I used to call, and he had a very unique voice. And I would take his phone calls because I'd be working in there, and I always knew his name, and I knew the neighborhood. And we ended up raiding the house and solving the problem. And then fast forward, 10 years goes by, and I'm sitting at Bell Tire, and I'm in the lobby. This waiting to get my car fixed.
Oh.
And there's a man next to me, and minding my own business, and he starts making small talk. He had that unique
You knew the voice.
I knew the voice. So I waited till nobody else in the room, and I'm like, I worked for the Drug Task Force for many years, and so we had really nice conversations. Like what a small town sometimes.
Yeah, that's great.
Small time.
That's great.
Absolutely. Prescriptions, you can drop them off at our office Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. If you got them at the house, we'll come out and get them.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about it. We'll get them off the street. We just want them. And that is our Drug Task Force. Busy year.
We are so proud of you and the
Yeah.
crew and the team that's doing
you.
this.
Thank
You're
you.
trying to make a dent in a major problem.
Well, I got great staff.
Yeah.
I'm a paper pusher these days. I had my day in the sun on the Drug Task Force.
Yeah, but you
was over,
started
but
out pounding the pavement
I did.
as a Drug Task Force member yourself.
I did, and that's where I learned my bones. But I'll tell you what, I didn't have any of the struggles the guys are facing today. I thought I was busy. I wasn't busy. The people today, they're busy. They have twice as much to do than I ever had. And I've got just great staff. I can't say enough about the employees and our citizens. This is a community that supports public safety.
Yep.
St. Clair County and everywhere, 23 townships, 7 municipalities, there's nobody that doesn't support us. And that's not the case nationwide. This has become a difficult profession, an unpopular profession. It's hard to recruit and retain talent. St. Clair County, it's not the case. So I tell our people, appreciate where you work and who you work for, because this is a great community to live and work.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for coming in
My
and giving
pleasure.
us an
My
update.
pleasure.
I know I got you scheduled to come to Rotary in a few weeks
Looking
and
forward
give
to
them
it.
give them the update too.
Yep.
And your other season is starting shortly.
Don't remind me.
And that's the boats.
I know.
The water.
It's February.
It's,
Easy.
keep
I got a
counting down.
reprieve. There's ice on the river. All
Good to
right.
see you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheriff. We're back with our next guest in just a second. Welcome back, and it's really an honor for me to have Mickey Mouse sitting on the stage here with me on the set. But the reason he's here is these two gentlemen across from me, Dan
Pleasure.
and Ed Cass, two
Nice to
brothers
meet you,
from St. Clair and the Algonac area. And they've got just a phenomenal story that started from a trip to Disney and then has worked its way through all the procedures and raised some money, and now it's about ready to really explode. We thought we better get them in here and find out what's going on.
There we go.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Tell me what happened. How did the idea get started for a shelf that ended up having Mickey on it?
Yeah, well, it started with, I had an accident 3 times. And the first time it happened is my better half actually took my side of the bed. And
You were at Disney, right?
well, at Disney, it was a different story.
Oh, okay,
so
go ahead.
The first story was she took my side of the bed, and then I actually didn't have a nightstand on the other side. So I ended up putting my glass up on the windowsill of water, and then I spilled it on my phone and damaged my phone.
We've done that, all of us.
Yeah. And then that second time it happened, I actually had my glass of water on my nightstand, and then I had my phone on my nightstand plugged in, and I reached in the middle of the night, I spilled it, on my phone, and how your phone collects a little bit of lint inside it?
Yep.
Well, it shorted it out.
Oh.
My phone got damaged, and then my nightstand, I didn't clean it up good enough in the night, and then it bubbled. So I wrecked my nightstand too. I had bubbles in the varnish. And then the third time how we came up with Mickey was we went to Disney World, and it was me and the better half in one bed, and then my kids in another bed. We're in a room with 2 beds,
Yeah.
1 nightstand. So whoever sleeps on the inside has a spot for their personal items, charge their phone, set their water. Here I am on the outside of the bed, and my stuff's on the dirty, germy floor.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, no cords to plug into because, in hotels, there's not many plugs. So right after that trip, I came home, I grabbed other Ed, and I said, I got an idea, to continue on here. And at this time, we filed our provisional, and you get, the way a patent works, you get 1 year to modify and adjust your patent to where you want to get it, and then you turn it into a utility. And so he came over, and I started drawing, and then we cut this first sample out in wood, and it was actually this shape right here. And so
Without Mickey's face. It was
without
just-
Mickey's face. Yeah, we got pictures of it. It's pretty cool. And that's how Mickey was born.
Amazing. So the shelf itself, describe how it's used.
Yeah. Would you?
Sure, it's a portable furniture platform. It slides
Okay.
in between cushioned furniture or mattresses with ease.
Like a
It's-
couch or a bed.
Exactly, and it's portable, so you can take it from the bedroom and use it as a nightstand, and take it right into the living room, watch TV, and use it as a snack tray, which is
Oh.
convenient. As you'll see, there's two different versions. We have the Mickey version and the Silhouette version, and each one of the ear holes holds a component. You can place the cup holder in there, which is removable. Some people use it for bottles, cans, or glasses that don't fit in the hole, whereas the hole holds a wide variety of wider cups and tumblers. And then, of course, the removable nightlight that people use not just as a light, but a reading light or a flashlight if the need arises.
All right. So there's many applications, and you have thoughts for a recharger part of this too?
Yeah. So some of our technology that we did. So when we filed our first provisional back in February of 2015, we then went into a utility filing for our patent. And so that got accepted in March of 2018. And we got the mechanical side, the way it functions, the slides between cushion furniture. And then we also got where we outlined the wireless charging space. And so we filed a continuation patent, and with our continuation patent, it allowed us to advance the technology of wireless. And so we received that patent this past November, so November 2018. And what it is we actually have induction charging, and then we also, in induction charging, you actually plug into a wall outlet. But some of our future products that we're working on right now, because the product will continue to evolve, and so we will actually be able to take and harvest energy out of the air.
Oh.
So if you think of like a solar panel, but we're actually
okay.
we're grabbing radio frequency, infrared light like your remote control, so we can shoot a beam of light across the ceiling and harvest that energy, and we can convert it into DC. So
High-tech stuff.
yeah, and it's really cool. Not only can we convert it, but we actually store it with battery power, and then now you will never plug in ever again. And so you'll be able to take this from one room to the other. Now this is our Mickey platform, and we've been involved in designing some other platforms that you'll see coming out very soon for some of our new movie titles.
You brought along, or we went on your webpage and found a 1-minute video, and I'll have Peter show us right now. Maybe give the audience a little better flavor of what we're dealing with. Here's a look.
As you can see, we launched our product just in time for Mickey's 90th birthday.
Cool.
It's a convenient place to hold your smartphone as well. It keeps the electronics out of the bed. Holds a variety of cups, glasses, and tumblers, or a variety of personal items, whichever you choose. Disney had us actually create a version for their home decor line, which is the Silhouette, which is more in tune for like older kids or adults that are Disney fanatics.
There's lots of thousands of those, millions
There's quite
of
a
those.
few.
There's your cup and your holder, the light. And I love on this video the music. It is Disney music.
Yes, thank
It
you.
really is. One of the things that's going to happen with this is you guys are going to manufacture that here in St. Clair County. And that's
Yes.
pretty exciting news for us in the community.
The entire product is made in Michigan.
Good.
Yeah, and we're pretty proud of that. So one of the other things we're real proud of is our first location that we have it in a retail store is right here in the heart of the Blue Water area. MC Marketplace
Yes,
has got
down
this
Marine
displayed.
City.
Yes,
That's
so
a great,
we're happy
great
about
place.
that.
If people haven't been in there, they really have to stop. It's so unique, and there's so many great things in that.
It
that
is,
place.
and they've done a great job.
Yeah, they really
great
have.
people that own it, great job. It's wonderful working with them.
Yeah.
And they're actually going to dedicate, from what I hear, an entire department to toys. So that's going to be perfectly
Wow.
suited for us. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that as well. Currently working on our packaging and our display line, so we can take this and integrate it into other locations throughout the state and out of the state, so we can start to display this everywhere is our goal.
One of the things you mentioned when we had you at Rotary was that Disney has got 4 new movies coming out. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
And this piece of the shelf will stay the same, but the tops will change a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. The top is going to change, and we don't have that version with us right now. But what's going to happen is, so they liked the concept so much when they first did the first Mickey. You know, this was our first design that you see here.
Right.
And then we went back and we showed this design, and this design, you know, the Imagineering team started getting involved with us, and so we actually designed 3 other characters without a face on it, and they're very unique. And so this is the one we all decided on to go with to market, along with the Mickey's face. And right now we're working with the stores, for Disney stores, and also the resort properties to go there.
So this face might be changing then.
So the new platform that we're talking about, because they liked us so much, they came back and said, guys, I got a great idea. Why don't you take this type of technology that you have and take it into some movie titles. We'll give you 4 movie titles for 2019. And so they offered us Toy Story, which comes out in June. The Lion King in July, and then Frozen 2, which is going to be probably the biggest blockbuster, is in November, and then we have Star Wars in December.
Congratulations.
And so what we'll do is we'll actually take a scene of the movie and we'll put it onto the platform, and it'll have optional for like wireless charging. Because not only can you charge your phone on here, you can actually charge, let's say, your PlayStation game controller.
Wow.
And so we have a lot of people that have this now, and they say, I love it with my controller, putting it on there and stuff. It's so convenient because kids like to play their games, set their phone there, or they can set their controller there.
Wonderful stuff. So there's great things happening, and they're all going to be happening hopefully right here in the St. Clair County area. And you got some support from Community Foundation, I understand.
Yes, we did. And we're excited about that. Right now, we've been working with the Community Foundation ever since the incubator, when we started with underneath the Sperry's building in Port Huron. You know, that was one of our first prize winners that we won. We won 3 innovation awards, and that was the first one we ever won. And that's how we got started with the incubator program. And then we worked our way up and won the regionals at the state of Michigan with our
exciting stuff.
Our Disney and our technology.
You're on your way.
So,
you're on your way.
You know, it takes a lifetime to come up with a product like this.
Right.
And, you know, we're both very excited that we were finally able to do something like this. It's just so hard.
But your work's only beginning.
It is.
Just now that you got here, it's wonderful, but now you got to take it from that point and go forward. It's just.
Well, momentum is on our side, you know, so things are starting to really go our way. We're getting a lot of media attention, which is great for us. And as Dan mentioned, we've got the concept designs for the movies already in play. We've already been approached by Century Fox. They like what we're doing with Disney, so they want to do something maybe with The Simpsons, so we're in collaborations with them. And our universal platform, the new shelf design that's coming out, can apply to a lot of different licensing opportunities. We've garnered a lot of interest in the sports media, sports merchandise, NASCAR, which Dan can expand on, and then pretty much any kind of movie or character or theme will fit on this platform.
Okay. If people want more information, where do they go? SmartShelfInc.com, did I get that right?
Well, that's one of our sites. Our product site is DisneySmartShelf.com.
Yeah. Okay. For our Disney, it's DisneySmartShelf.com.
Okay. DisneySmartShelf.com.
Correct.
Okay.
And that site will be expanding with the new products as they come out. Right now, both the Mickeys are out there, and we'll be adding the new product line with the new generic shelf design, which we're really excited about.
You're not excited, are you?
No, we're extremely excited. This is big doings for us.
Okay. Well, please keep us informed. We'll have you back as this progresses, but we just wanted to have you come in and salute you for following an idea and seeing it come to fruition. And it's obviously your baby, and you're seeing it start to take the first few steps, and it's going to get really exciting in the next few years.
It absolutely will.
Okay, very good. Thanks for
Paul.
coming in, guys.
Yeah, pleasure.
Okay. Coming up next month is the Empty Bowls, which raises money for the Soup Kitchen and Mid-City Nutrition, and we're going to talk to Susan Bennett and the illustrious Alice Reeves in just a second. Each year, there's a wonderful thing called Empty Bowls, and one of the ladies that got that started, Alice Reeves, is sitting across from me. Alice, welcome back to the Focus Show.
Thank you, Paul.
Nice to see you.
Always good to see you.
You're looking great.
Thank you.
And you brought along another buddy,
Hey, good to see you.
Susan Bennett.
Been too
nice
long.
to see you. And you are now the executive director filling the shoes of this young lady.
As best I can.
Those
It's
were
a big job.
big shoes.
It's a
Not
big
that
Those are
Yes,
size
they are, Alice.
14s.
No, they are not. They're
With
only
heels.
8s.
And that's amazing. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar couldn't walk in those. Ladies, what's happening this year with empty bowls?
It is our 16th year,
Amazing.
which is totally amazing because technically a empty bowl wears itself out 3 to 5 years.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Across the country?
Across country, across the world. It's
Yep.
a worldwide
Okay.
fundraiser now, yes.
And
Yes.
what kinds of success have you had at empty bowls in previous years?
Our very first empty bowl, we brought in $5,000.
Okay.
Last year, we brought in over $37,000.
Wonderful.
Almost 40.
Wonderful.
And it's
Wonderful.
almost, it is 100% pure profit.
Wonderful.
Every single thing that comes in for the empty bowl is donated.
Okay.
Everything.
Let's talk about what it is in case I've never heard of it. I've been in a convent for X amount of years.
32 years. Let's say.
32 years. What is empty bowls? How does it work?
You come in, you purchase your ticket first. You can purchase your ticket from
From the office, Mid-City Nutrition, from board members, and a couple locations downtown
Okay.
in Port Huron.
NCMH.
Okay.
So you want to get your ticket ahead of time because they're $25 in advance, $30 at the door. You walk in and the first place you want to go is to the bowl room because everybody has a favorite potter.
Okay.
We have over 30 local potters that throw bowls for us. And a few years ago, the Wood Turners Association got involved, and we now have turned wood bowls.
Okay. So you go to the room and you pick a bowl.
Yes.
Any one you want.
Anyone you want.
Okay. Look at this one. Oh my God. Look at the work inside. That's just gorgeous.
Those are all hand painted.
Hand painted.
Yep.
Let me grab this one while we're here. And this one there we
Says,
go.
and I
What's it
said
say?
to myself, what a wonderful world.
To the
Louis
song.
Armstrong. Yep,
Yeah. Isn't that
absolutely.
beautiful?
Yes.
And it is wonderful. And the flowers inside. Yep. And then you were talking about the wood turner.
Yep. That's one of the wood turned bowls that we have.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yep.
That is beautiful. Oh, and it says on the back, Oak 2016. Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I go in, I get my bowl.
Yep.
And then what do I do?
And then you go in and you get your dinner. The night before the event, we work with Mike Moretz and we will,
Good old Michael.
good old Michael, we'll do 400 bread bowls.
Wow.
We'll do the bread bowls the night before. There'll be 5 or 6 of us. We'll do them in 3 hours. So your soup will be served in a fresh bread bowl. We have,
Oh, so I don't have to use this
oh no,
bowl?
no, you take this bowl home empty.
Okay.
This bowl goes home empty, and it
Okay.
goes home empty to remind you that there are hungry people in your community.
Yep.
Not just in third world nations, but there are a lot of hungry people in your neighborhood. There are hungry people in your neighborhood in
Yep.
St. Clair.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So and then you meet people that you haven't seen for a year. I think personally, and people that have come for the past 16 years, that it's the most fun event because you're not listening to a bunch of speeches.
Yeah, okay.
You know, you're coming in, there's camaraderie. Mary, Fran, Kaza, and Lois are playing. They play the whole time, and they are very entertaining. They are very entertaining.
Who are the bowl makers?
The bowl makers are local potters.
Okay.
St. Clair's Art Association
Yep.
does them. Deb Maxwell has
Doug Maxwell's
bowls.
a big name in it.
Jane Barden and Cabin Creek.
Okay.
Sandra Myron.
So local names that people would recognize.
All local names, yes.
And maybe already have on their shelf.
Right, absolutely.
But now they can add to that collection.
Yes, yes.
So, Ms. Bennett, you are running the day-to-day operations now that this lady has.
With lots of help, with lots of help.
What's going on at Mid-City?
Well, it's going to be a pretty exciting year, and actually Empty Bowls will really kick it off. We've been involved in a capital campaign for the last, 18 months or so. And we're very hopeful that this spring we will break ground on a new building.
Oh, wow.
And that's a big deal. That's
Yeah.
a big deal. The capacity will be great. And although St. Martin has been a wonderful landlord, and we've used that facility for not quite 30 years,
Yeah,
but a
almost
long
30
time.
years, yeah.
It's far exceeded its capacity.
You've
Yeah, that
outgrown it.
kitchen was never intended to serve 200 people a day.
Is that what you're serving now?
Yeah.
Wow.
On an average, 200
Yeah.
people a day. And so this new building will give us a lot more opportunity as far as seating. We'll have some office space where we can have outreach with, for instance, Community First Health Centers come in and they do basic screenings. They get referrals for different healthcare things and prescription coverage and those kind of things, and they come right to us, and now we can provide a better place for them instead of the corner
Yep.
for them to provide those services. But probably the most outstanding thing about the new plan is that a portion of the building has been set aside as a teaching kitchen.
Really?
This is a first for our area.
I like it.
And everything from what to do to with a pound of ground beef,
Okay.
to having cooking classes for the public to teach cordon bleu, if
Wonderful.
you will. So that's a very important part. And looking down the road,
Who's cooking? Who's teaching?
we actually have a couple great partnerships. The biggest would be with MSU Extension.
Okay.
And we also have an incredible relationship that was just started that I'll talk to you about some other time, but with St. Clair County 4-H.
Okay.
And with their canners and all of the baking and all of those things, we have such a wealth of knowledge so nearby that this is going to be valuable
a
not
great
only
idea.
to our clients, but to the whole community. So that teaching kitchen is pretty important to the whole plan. And we will continue to serve the hungry of St. Clair County just as we have for 31 years. And the new building, there'll be some new opportunities looking at long-term sustainability. You know, Paul makes a fantastic chicken noodle soup. Well, why don't we package it and sell it?
Right.
So that's an opportunity that we will have in the new place. So knock on wood, I'll be back sometime during 2019 to talk about the grand opening and such. But it's an incredible ride, and it's a great tribute to the lady who started it all with the very big feet.
I'll cut that part out.
It's okay.
Tickle. Okay, well, that's exciting. And we will have you back to talk about those things.
It's great.
But Alice, let's review again. We never mentioned the time and the place.
No, we did not. It is at St. Stephen's Catholic Church.
Okay. Been there before.
It's been there for the last, I think for the last 8 or 9 years. We started out at Woodland School. Then we moved Our Lady of Guadalupe. When we outgrew that, we were fortunate that St. Stephen's Gymnasium was open.
Oh, good.
So it's in the school gymnasium, April 4th, 4:30 to 7 p.m.
April 4th.
Yes.
4:30 to 7 p.m.
Yes. Tickets can be purchased at Mid-City Nutrition. They can be purchased at Proper Framing. I believe they can be purchased at weekends downtown.
Okay.
I think the Exquisite Corpse, and you can also purchase them from Community Mental Health if you call Caroline Corby.
Okay. All right. Well, it's an exciting thing that you guys do. You know, it's such an important need in the community, and this is just one of the ways that supports it. So.
Well, the Empty Bowls function in itself is almost 18% of our total revenue for the year.
Wow.
So it's a very important function for us.
Yeah.
And as Alice said, it's the most fun. You walk in the door and you see everybody.
Everybody that you know.
Everybody
Yes.
is there. So among those hundreds of attendees, you'll find somebody you know and
Yeah.
enjoy a great bowl of soup
Great
in the
bowl of
meantime.
soup. Always a pleasure.
Always a
Alice,
pleasure.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Good seeing
Thank
you,
you.
Susan.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's your invitation. Come get one of these wonderful bowls at Mid-City Nutrition's Empty Bowls Project. I was trying to think of the name of it, and it slipped me there for a second. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Until next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. Thanks very much for tuning in.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.